Good evening, welcome to this week's edition of CopaLoadofRacing, where we're going to be looking at a pick of some of the races at the likes of Beverley, Sandown and at Chester. Quite a quietish day racing tomorrow for a Saturday, I would have to say. Been a busy week this week for Scottish racing. Musselburgh had a two-day meeting on Wednesday and Thursday, and tonight they're racing at Hamilton for Lanark Bell Silver, the Lanark Silver Bell, I should say, which was won by Archie's Affair. Congratulations to Connections there. So good wee card there at Hamilton tonight. Couldn't make it along myself, but it looks like it's a decent crowd there tonight, as well as some good weather, which we've been crying out for, I have to say, for the past couple of weeks up here. Ground at Hamilton looks on the soft side, I have to say. They're calling it good to soft, but the ground was cutting up a little, especially getting into the dip. But yep, they've got still a few more. We're now obviously, as of tomorrow, into September, and we'll obviously a few more race days at Hamilton before they finish off the season at the end of the month. And as I say, Musselburgh had some good racing there on Wednesday and Thursday. So looking ahead to tomorrow, we have Beverley Bullet, their listed 5 furlong sprint race. They are their big race of the season, the Beverley Bullet. Now at the top of it, running under a bit of a penalty, is Mr. Lupton, who's a classy enough horse, I have to say. Been running and ran in the Nunthorpe a couple of weeks ago. Didn't show himself to best effect in that race, but I thought previous to that in the Group 2 King George at Goodwood, I thought he put in a fine performance there. I think he finished 4th or 5th, running on strong in the finish under Paul Hannigan. Hannigan back on board tomorrow, and you know, this is a more realistic target, shall we say, this race. Will like a decent enough pace to aim at, which you should get, of course, in the old Beverley Bullet, and it's just whether he gets the breaks at the right time. He's not a horse that likes to be really out at the front, doesn't tend to be anyway. But I think he's got a good chance in this, Mr. Lupton, for the Hannigan Fahy team. And they have also, one of the other horses have pinpointed at Beverley tomorrow in the 355. I think it's the Beverley Silver Cup. You have Delve Crescent, who won the Scottish Trophy in his last race at Hamilton, in fact, under Hannigan. Just held on at the end, to be fair. But he likes a strong pace to aim at, does Delve Crescent. And it's a a decent enough size field, so you would manage to see him get that. He's a game enough sort, this, because when at Hamilton he came under a challenge in that last half furlong. He stuck his neck out. He showed a lot of hunger to win that race, and so he's got a bit about him, this horse. Likes to get his head down for the winning post. And Delve Crescent, I think, again, could run a big race in the 355. Now, over at Sandown, they've got a couple of Group 3 races, which will be their standouts in the card: the Celeria Stakes, the Atalanta Stakes. Both races have got 2 short price favourites, so I'm not really going to get involved in those races. I'll just be a watching brief for me. But in the first race at Sandown, the 150, we have a sprint handicap over 5 furlongs, and it's a bit of a, I always sometimes think that 5 furlongs at Sandown, some course specialists do really well, and Real Ronaldo is one of them who sticks out with regards to that little stat. Won, I think, over this course and distance last season, ran decent enough this season back there. Disappointing last time out at Windsor, it has to be said, but he has a plum draw in 1 here. Now it's about getting out and make sure you're well positioned, because a draw in 1 can be great, but if you get stuck up against the fence and don't get the greatest of starts, then you don't get a route through, because everybody comes over to that far side rail, and this tends to be in this race. in races over 5 furlongs at Sandown. But if Real Ronaldo, if everything falls right, he's in with a decent enough chance at an each way bet, I would say. And the 225, another consistent handicapper in this race is Communique for the Johnston team. Ran at York last time out and did disappoint. I thought he finished fourth, but he's, as you can imagine, for a Johnston horse, he's been pretty, he's been pretty much a regular out there in these big handicaps over this distance at some of the big meetings such as Newmarket and Goodwood, where he's won this season. And so under D'Souza, who'll take the ride tomorrow, I think he's £3 higher from his last win, so he's still on a workable mark, and he's still very much, you would, under Mr. Johnston, you would still imagine that he's got that, freshness about him that can make him, come through and lay down a challenge in as a race such as this. So Communique for me in at the 225. Switching over to Chester, couple of ones here that I'll pick out. 350, Richard Hannon has a horse called K Club running here. Was a winner at Bath on his first appearance on a race course, and then went to Chepstow in a novice race, and I thought ran well, just was on the wrong side of the track. The winner was on the opposite side, and managed to nick the race from there, but he was the best of the rest, and I think it'll be an interesting one here for the Hannon team. Harry Bentley takes a ride on K Club in the 350 at Chester, and in the 425 that follows that, I think it's a conditions race there. Growl has been in really good form of late, placed in the St Wilfrid's last time out at Ripon. Has ran well previously at Chester, at the Chester meeting. Who was it he finished behind? He got a good ride, but was well beaten. The name of the horse slips my mind at the moment. I'm sorry, I should have had that written down before I came on. But he's a classy enough sort, Growl. I said this the last time when I spoke about him putting him on at Ripon, and he, as I say, he ran well, put in a good performance there. This is a smaller field, as you can imagine. Maybe the task isn't as tough as what he came across at Ripon, so I think it has a good chance. Growl, he's favourite for the race, so the market suggests that as well. So he'll be an interesting one to maybe stick in there with a double or a lucky 15, along with some of the other tips that I've stuck up there. So as I say, it's a pretty quietish day for a Saturday racing. We get this throughout the year, of course, because we've got other big meetings coming up. Next week it's Haydock for their Sprint Cup Festival. I think that meeting gets underway on Wednesday or Thursday. And then the following week it's the St Ledger meeting at Doncaster, which definitely gets underway on the Wednesday and runs right through, of course, to the last classic of the year on the Saturday. And then after that it's our big meeting, of course, Ayr, for the Gold Cup Festival, or as we like to call it, the Western meeting up here. And excitement already building for that, and I can tell you that. So plenty to look forward to as we get into September, as the season starts to come to a climax in the flats, and then as we get into the autumn we start to switch our attentions to, of course, the jumps season, which is going to be obviously a one that, I don't know, it doesn't fill me with promise initially. I think it's when we get to the open meeting in November at Cheltenham, that's when I start to really focus on the jumps racing. But that's the tips for this week, and as I say, I'll be back again same time, same place next week with a look to Haydock Sprint Cup, one of the best Group 1 sprint races of the year, and so we'll get our teeth into that, and so look forward to that one. For now, have a good weekend, best of luck betting, CopaLoadofRacing.